Week 4 video. I wanted to start by saying how impressed I was with Warcraft as a game. The graphics, sound, and gameplay, it was just astounding for a multiplayer online game. The level of sophistication was amazing. And I had more fun playing it, just running around and looking at the environment and interacting with the different characters who, sometimes would kill me. But I really just had fun exploring in that environment, which is unusual for me because I typically don't like exploration type games. I tend to like games like first-person shooters that have a more defined track that you go down to. So I was really surprised and enjoyed it. But as I think about Warcraft and played it, I couldn't help stop thinking about Second Life and how Warcraft in many ways is kind of everything that Second Life isn't, but probably should be. Now, let me say that I realize that this isn't an apples to apples comparison, and probably the comparison isn't necessarily fair to Second Life. But as I play Warcraft, I think about all the things in Warcraft that work well that don't work in Second Life and probably should. For example, whereas I find Second Life completely non-intuitive, Warcraft is very intuitive and easy to pick up and play. Second Life looks terrible, really, and Warcraft looks great. The user experience in Second Life is herky, jerky. You're waiting for screens to redraw. You get weirdness happening. Whereas Warcraft is smooth and fluid, and it's a pleasure to be inside that environment. Now, obviously, Second Life has much greater functionality for all the user development and all of that. So again, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but for Second Life or really any massively multiplayer online environment to matter, for it to be widely accepted, to be more than kind of a cultish experience, it's got to be easy and it's got to work every time for everyone. Warcraft certainly is much closer to that goal, I think, than Second Life is. Moving on to reflecting on the past 4 weeks of the course, I really think that there's two big ideas that I'm leaving the course with. The first is the learning, when you're thinking about simulations, training simulations, the learning opportunities afforded by the character creation process. I've talked about this before, but it's an idea that really continues to intrigue me. What learning opportunity can we create for the learner by having them create their character before they engage in some kind of job or training simulation? I've incorporated this into my final project. I think that as time goes on and I think more about it, I'm going to be able to think of much more powerful ways to use this learning tool than I have in my final project. So I really feel I'm just scraping the surface there. But again, I'm interested and intrigued by that idea. The second is just the learning opportunities afforded by the massively multiplayer online environments. I really started thinking about collaborative learning in the class we had 2 or 3 months ago that really focused on the Web 2.0 tools. But as someone who's involved in online learning, so I'm always thinking about that learner sitting at home alone. These massive online environments have such incredible potential. Think of Warcraft as a game. Think of a course on leadership that has as a final project creating and leading a guild in Warcraft. Now, obviously, there's challenges to that in terms of getting a high enough character level and whatnot. But what an incredible leadership challenge to recruit, other gamers, strangers, to join your guild and lead them to do something. Or for a sociology class, have the final project be research and observation of how people relate in Warcraft, how characters relate in Warcraft. There's just a lot of opportunity there. I think as educators, we're certainly just scratching the surface of what it can be. So I think those are the two big ideas I'm leaving with, which are great. I continue to think about them really every day now. And I enjoyed the class, and Thank you very much. Bye.